support team that supports them outside of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now in the next minutes will be live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I'm currently working with Mutevia.
Carol, just a minute. Okay, already we are live, huh?
All right. Live to the world. How many people do you have?
So I'm going to share the links.
Oh, okay.
Okay, already we are live.
Live to the world. How many people do you have?
Okay. Ni mic yangu ilikuwa inaleta shida. So I'm going to share the link with you. Also, you can share with other people. So I will be starting in the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes, it's 8 minutes past. So in the next 5 minutes. So in the next 3 minutes, we'll be starting. So those who are online, today we'll be talking about filing returns.
No, send me that link, please.
Yes, sijakutumia.
Okay.
Carol, so you can help me share.
You shared it in the students group as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll be starting in some minutes. We'll be talking about KRA returns. We know it's almost the deadline soon. So those who have not done their returns, I invite you to listen on how to go about it. I want to share on Facebook at the same time. Jessica, I'm going to send you the link also. So I share this one, and then we can go, we can start. So, okay, so we can start now. Huh? So welcome to our channel, Kenyans in France. And today we have Dan International, the team of Dan International. We requested them to come and talk to us about KRA returns, what we should take in account when doing it. And Dan International, they have other services. So I'm going to ask Mark to introduce his colleagues and tell us what they do in Dan International before we start talking about KRA. So Mark, go ahead, you can talk.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Yeah, my name is Mark Karaki. I'm founder of this company and a few other projects that we're working on in Nairobi. And Dan International is a service provider. Essentially, what we're looking to solve for is the challenge that people in the diaspora have of getting stuff done on the ground. Anything from a simple errand to a professional services kind of a requirement that somebody might have to more complex needs that people have, including actually repatriation planning, which we will be layering on top of what we do here. But the genesis of this is I spent 20 years in the US and just like you guys out there, had a very difficult time getting stuff done on the ground. So we decided to, when I moved back in 2018, I realized that this is a problem that we need to solve, right? Because there's so much pent-up demand of things that people would like to do, but they just can't do it because the trust is not there, the quality services are not there. It's just an amazing, it seems like such a simple solution that nobody has ever kind of come up with or put together, and I don't know why. I'm sure some people are doing different things trying to solve the problems that people in the diaspora have in different ways. And so, when I moved back in 2018, I said, this is something that we got to work on. We also work on some other projects at my other company, Impact Africa Network, but this is a problem that is near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of walk you through just 2 or 3 slides that will show you how we think about what we do and where we are going. So this is basically the brand that we've put together. We've been in business now for probably 6 months, and we're approaching this in a very experimental way. What drives me specifically is solving human problems and building that layer of trust that is so important to success in business and success in life, which is amazing that, once you've lived abroad, you kind of realize how important trust is in terms of just making things happen. And it is so crazy that we take that for granted here back home, right? Trust is something that is a very fungible concept, but trust is actually currency. Trust is like money. If you don't have trust, you spend a lot of money trying to just kind of bridge the trust gap. And people in the diaspora have struggled with the trust issue. All of you guys have sent money back home to do things and they don't get done. And it's amazing. And it's your family and it's your friends. And so that's why we put Dan International together, and I'll walk you through how we are thinking about that. So this is basically, if you go to our landing page, you'll see who we are and what we're about. And the idea is, a local service provider that helps Africans living in the diaspora organize, plan, and execute projects back home. That's pretty much the high-level concept. And what type of services? So project management, real estate and other projects, business solutions, tax filing, things of that nature, errands, complex errands, things that you can't just send a border person, and repatriation planning. So these are the areas that we will be looking at, including remittance, that we will be looking at putting into the market. And here's how you would engage with us. You just go to our website. Step 1 is complete the service request, Dan International. schedule a deep dive call with us to understand your needs a little bit better. And then step 3, if we kind of get to a sense where we can help you, we get to work. And we're taking a broad approach with this. We know people have different challenges and different things that they need to get done on the ground. So we are not yet at the point where we're going to say these are the only things that we will do. We'll take conversations with people and see if we can help them. A big focus of ours is going to be real estate and helping people actually execute on the real estate investment and project front. Remittance is also going to be big for us. And eventually what we want to help people do is actually plan their repatriation back home. And so that's what Dan International is about. We're starting small, but we have a very big vision of what we can do. Ultimately, what success looks like for us is like people over there living abroad can actually start to, I'll keep saying it, get stuff done on the ground, and they can start actually to reap the rewards of that Africa has to offer. So you're not feeling like you're marooned out there and there are all these opportunities on the ground and you can't access those opportunities because there's no trust services layer that can help you get stuff done. You're thinking about, moving back home, and you don't have a systematic way to actually plan that out, even if it's a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan or a 10-year plan for that matter. You have to kind of fly back and kind of try and get things going on your own. It's just very, very challenging. So we believe that in the world of the internet and technology and communications, there's no reason why things should stay the same way they have been for all those years. So we're excited about Africa. We're excited about you guys, the diaspora. We're excited about the Dan International team and what we're working on. And it's just going to be an amazing run into 2030 here, right? There's so much going on the continent, and you guys definitely know that already. If you don't know, maybe now you know, but it is definitely Africa's time. The next 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago is Africa's moment. So, and we need the diaspora to get involved, and you guys need the opportunity that Africa presents so you can actually achieve your goals as well and your visions. So with that, I will hand it over back to Noah. I guess we are going to turn over to now to talk about the topic of the day, which is KRA filings and taxes and all that. So I'll hand it back to Noah. I guess, Noah, Mercy can go, or however you want to handle it.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So now I'm going to give the chance to Mercy, and she's going to talk about KRA, and then after you'll tell us what you can do for us as Kenyans who are living in the diaspora. To you, Mercy.
For sure. Thank you very much, Noah. My name is Mercy Maria. I am in Dan International and Impact Africa Network as a whole, and I'd like to take you through some education on taxation in Kenya. So the first thing is this is how the iTax portal looks like, or the self-service portal. So you just enter your PIN, then your password, then you're able to get, this is the home page or the dashboard. Yeah. So once you enter, then you can be able to file the returns. So I'll just go direct to the most important things. First, we'll start with the tax obligations. So first, tax is it's a compulsory levy that is charged by the government to to both individuals and entities in an organization. And we have various tax obligations. They vary from annual tax obligations and monthly. So we'll start with the annual. For annual, one, we have the income tax, that is personal income. This is the income charged to people who are either you are employed or not employed, but you have to file the personal income tax annually. So for employed persons, the people that are charged are anyone earning above 24,000. And if you're not earning anything, you need to file nil. And as well as under personal income, they usually are relief for those people earning 24,000 and above, which is 2,400 per month. Yeah. And maybe now we can go to the income tax for companies, that is corporate tax. This is the tax that is levied or charged on the profits that are made by a business or an entity. The percentage of corporation tax is 30% as per the KRA. And this is as well, you file it annually, but after a financial year is over, you're supposed to file the following year by 30th of June. Then now we go to rent income. This is as well is filed annually, and rent income is a tax that is levied on landlords that are getting rent. So the income that you get from your tenants, you're supposed to pay a certain amount to KRA, and as well declare it by the 30th of the following year. Then we'll go direct to the monthly tax obligations. We'll start with payee. Pay is pay as you earn.
Hey, Marcy, could you put on presentation mode, please? Because we don't know, we're not following you, right? It's not clear which slide you're talking about.
I'm so sorry about that. Okay. On monthly tax obligations, we have the payee. This is the pay as you earn, which is paid by individuals, but it is declared by an entity on behalf of its employees. So pay as you earn, the rates are between 10% to 30%. As we've said, the people that are supposed to pay as you earn are any individual that is earning 24,000 per month and above. So this is filed for the declaration. Declaration is made by the employer on behalf of the employee each and every month by the 15th. Going on to VAT. VAT is value added tax, which is lies at a 16% rate currently. This is a tax that is levied on the purchase and sale of goods. So if you're an entity, if you make a purchase, that means you will pay input VAT. And if you're an entity and you're making sales, your customers will pay to you output VAT. And if the input VAT becomes higher than the output VAT, then that shows that you've been paying more than you're receiving, meaning KRA will have some refund to make to you. But if the vice versa happens, you're supposed to pay KRA after the filing. Going on to withholding tax. Withholding tax applies both in VAT and income. In this case, I'll discuss the one that applies in VAT. For VAT purpose, maybe you have, for example, malls and supermarkets. If you make a purchase, then if the supermarket makes a purchase, the supplier withholds a specific rate, remits it to KRA, then the other rate is you as the withholding, you're the ones who are supposed to remit it to KRA. So there's for withholding VAT, you end up sharing the tax obligation between the withholder and the withholding. Then by the 20th of the following month, you need to declare that. Then going on to digital service tax. This is tax that is applicable to digital service providers, or rather digital people like influencers or people on YouTube. The income that you receive, you're supposed to pay 1.5% to KRA per transaction. So each and every, if you've made this income, you remit 1.5% to KRA. For this one, both remittance and filing is done at the same time. So you will file and remit by 20th of the following month. So if, example, for this month, you had a YouTube channel, you had this amount, or maybe you are an influencer, you went and you marketed a certain product, people bought and you were paid this amount. So by 20th of next month, which is July, you're supposed to file for those digital service tax for that specific amount that you paid, 1.5 of it, then remit it to KRA. I hope you're clear till there. Then we go to the penalties. So people usually ask, what happens if I do not pay these specific taxes, or what happens if I do not declare that I have been paying? Because Kenya operates on a self-assessment regime, whereby as an individual, you're supposed to assess yourself, declare to KRA that this is the amount I earn and this is how much I pay to KRA. Then once you have done the filing, it's the portal automatically computes for you, and you'll be able to know if you've been paying the right amount to KRA or if you've been paying either less or more. If you've been paying more, KRA is expected to do a refund to you. But if you've been paying less, you're supposed then to pay the tax due. If the tax due is positive, then that means you're supposed to remit to KRA. If it's negative, it shows that you'll be making an excess payment. So for penalties, for individual income, the penalty of late filing is 2,000. And for companies, it is 10,000 for late filing. That late filing, as we've discussed, is 20th of June of the following year. So as we've said, filing of returns should happen after a financial year is over. So for this year, our financial year, we're doing KRA returns for last year, for the financial year of last year, from January to December. So that's why we're given a period between January of this year to June 30th to do the filing. Then for VAT, either late filing or failure to remit the funds, the expected funds to KRA, will have you pay 5% of the amount due, that tax due, or 10,000, whichever is higher, but mostly it is 10,000. For payee, if an organization that has employees fails to deduct or files the payee returns late, they will have to pay 25% of that tax that is involved, the tax that they were expected to pay. They'll have to take 25% of it and pay it to KRA, or 10,000, whichever is higher of the two is the one that will apply as the penalty. Then going on to withholding tax, failure to either deduct, or if you failure to deduct for this purpose, if you are the withholder, if you fail to deduct and remit to KRA, then 10% of that tax involved is the one that you'll be charged, and you'll be expected to honor that penalty and pay it. Yes, then maybe going after that, we will tackle some of the questions that you frequently asked, and Noah might help us and take us through this.
Yes, so thank you, Mercy, for the presentation. I think it was very complete. She has very informative. It was very informative, and I hope that people will find their questions answered from there. So we had made some questions. Maybe Caro, if you have a question maybe to clarify for Kenyans, maybe you can start with that. If those listening, you have questions, just post them on the chat or send them directly to me or to Caro. So I don't know whether Caro, from your side, everything is clear, or maybe you want to clarify something on the KRA. Your sound. Activate your sound.
Thank you, Mercy, for the information. Just one question. For those who have registered companies in Kenya, in case they don't file their returns, or what is the rate of returns to be filed? Okay, you've said about withholding tax, but for companies, the annual returns for companies, can you maybe touch on that? And the penalty in case you do not file for a company?
Yeah, so for a company, the annual tax that applies for a company annually is income, which is also known as a corporation tax, which is 30% of the profit that has been made that year. And late filing will attract a penalty of either 10,000 or 5% of the tax due or the tax applicable, whichever is higher. In most cases, 10,000 is what applies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just another question on if you file, if for example this year I forget to file, for individuals is 2,000.
Yes.
So for next year, does it attract interest?
Yeah, it attracts interest. Yeah,
With what percentage? Their percentage maybe, or it's them who calculate.
It's them. It's KRA that compute the interest on the penalties.
Okay, there's no fixed rate which they calculate. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that apply also for companies?
Yes, yes, it does.
Hey, we are finished.
And I heard of this. You can do what you call it, reclamation. What do you call it? How can I say it? You can, maybe I'm taxed 2,000. I want to waive them to waive that for me. That's possible.
Yeah, well, you can apply
under
for
which circumstances.
And the most common circumstances under which you can apply for waiver is maybe you did not file tax because your business was not operating. You did not declare the nil returns. That is the most applicable case. Or maybe you were a student, you weren't earning anything, so you didn't file because you thought it's not applicable to you. Then that would be a valid reason for you to request for waiver.
And can you guys request for a waiver on behalf of someone, an individual or a company?
For that case, we usually advise you to do it on your own by yourself, because you have clearer reasons why you did not file the returns.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, there's Keisha who is asking, is it 30% of profit or 30% of the whole amount made?
Of the profits. For income, it's of the profits.
So it's 30% of the profit, not, for example, I managed to make 100,000 in a year, but in the 100,000, maybe I have 50,000, which is in profit. So it's the 50%, not the whole amount.
Yeah. You just compute the purchases that you made, the sales that you made, you deduct the expenses and all. The profit that you get, that is what is taxed, not the whole amount.
So Keisha, I hope your question is answered. If you have other questions, you can continue posting on our YouTube channel. There are other questions coming. Yes, Keisha, I think it's for businesses. Huh? We are talking about businesses there, if I'm not wrong, Mercy.
Yes.
For the 30%, huh?
Yes, for 30% is businesses.
Okay. I think she's continuing to ask more question. There is like, when filing, do I put the whole amount or minus the expenses? In other words, I think here she wants to know how does one go about filing the taxes for a company. When I'm filing, do I file all the amounts I've gained that year, or how do I go about them? Maybe you can clarify on that.
Okay. So when you log into the iTax portal, you are supposed to, under the file tab, you're supposed to download an Excel sheet that will help you compute and be able to know the profits that you made. So you do not directly go and input the profits. You need to compute. You'll have the purchases made, the sales, any expenses that you incurred. You'll have to declare the assets, the liabilities and all. Then it will automatically compute for you the profits for that year, then, and as well as charge that tax rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So what you're trying to say is, it's like you are giving your accounts for the year, and then from there they take the profit. They see that you made this profit, and
Yes.
then they tax you according to that.
Yes.
Kesha, I hope your question is answered. Let me see if there is another question. Yes, just a minute. No,
another question.
Yes.
On the income or the rent income, I think I've seen the annual return for rent. Does it mean if you're earning money from some rentals, you declare everything that has come in, or you also deduct your expenses?
That one you usually declare the whole, unless there are expenses that you can be able to articulate and have proof.
Okay, when I talk about expenses, we are talking about things like utilities, like water, electricity bills, and such maintenance. Maybe is that taxable? Do you, after you've deducted those, you declare what remains, and that's what you pay tax on?
Yeah, for such cases, for such expenses, you'll have to less them, then you'll be taxed the remaining amounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have to prove receipts for the case of Carol, what she's saying? Is it a must you prove that you give receipts, for example, that you paid this, there's a receipt for that?
No, well, there's no place where you'll need to prove the receipts. But if KRA notices that you're not being honest, they'll come to you. Now you'll need to present the receipts. So that's why you need to be genuine. Yeah.
Okay. So they can control in case they doubt what I've given. This all this what we are talking about is in the Excel sheet that I'm going to provide to KRA.
Yes,
that's right.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe check if the other questions. Let me check.
Maybe to add on to that.
Yes.
For the proof that you'll need, you can't upload the receipt, but there's an option where there's a receipt number, there's invoice number. So some things like those you'll need to declare them on that Excel sheet before uploading it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
The other question, is it possible to put your KRA account into, or rather to declare it dormant?
No. You need to, if you're not, if maybe in a case of someone who's living in diaspora or France rather.
Yeah.
If you're not in Kenya and you have a KRA PIN, then you're just advised to be filing nil. Leaving it dormant will attract penalty.
What about those people, like now, for example, Kenyans who are living here and they don't have the iTax account? What are the consequences?
Maybe Ian can touch on that.
For that, because currently for any transaction needed, they need the KRA PIN for you to do any transaction in Kenya, be it lands, lease, or anything. So if maybe you're living abroad, it's not a must for you to have the iTax portal, the iTax account. But if you need to do any transaction or anything that happens to do with the government, you'll need to have the KRA PIN. But if there's nothing you are doing transactional in Kenya, it's not a must for you to have the KRA PIN, since having it automatically puts you under obligation.
Yes.
But if you need to do any projects in Kenya, you need to have the KRA PIN. Automatically having the KRA PIN means you have the iTax account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that is clear for those who are asking. If you want to do business in Kenya or to transact in Kenya, you need the iTax account. And once you have it, make sure every year you file your nil returns. If it is dormant, just file your nil returns if you're not doing anything with it. Otherwise, it will attract penalties. Or
there is Kem asking. I think there we have two questions in one. for individual tax, I'm going to read the way it is and then try to see what is trying to say. For individual tax returns on the tax obligation, why the choice should be individual resident and not non-residents for us residing in Kenya. The other question is, what do you do when your Excel sheet is rejected? Maybe we can start with, what do you do when your Excel sheet is rejected? I think the first question is trying to determine your what we call it, your where you should be taxed. For example, I don't know Kem whether he's in France or is in Kenya, but I think there is this cases where us who are here in France, we have to declare our financial residence. So maybe touch on what do we mean by financial residence? Me, I'm working in France. I live in France. I think there my financial residence is in France, not in Kenya. So in Kenya, I file nil normally, if I'm not wrong. Maybe Mercy or Ian one of you can answer that question, and also for the Excel sheet. Okay, Kem has given more information on the first question. He's saying, sorry, I mean for those us residing outside Kenya. He's not in France, huh? So what maybe talk about financial residence where one will be taxed.
Okay. For if you're not in Kenya, but you have a KRA pin in Kenya, that means you're a Kenyan, and you are a Kenyan citizen. That means you're a Kenyan resident. So while filing, you will have to declare that you're a individual resident. Non-residents are people who are not Kenyan citizen, but are working in Kenya and are being taxed by the Kenyan government. So even if you're not in Kenya, yes, you'll be paying tax in the country that you're in, but you as well need to declare zero returns in the Kenyan government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kem, I think there the answer what Mercy is saying is you should declare if you are wherever you are living. For example, I don't know where you are living, but outside Kenya, you where you earn maybe a salary. That salary you declare in your country of residence because that's where you stay, and it's there where you earn your income, and then for Kenya you do nil returns because you have not earned anything in Kenya. So that's the question. So what do you do when your Excel sheet is rejected?
Okay, Excel sheet can be.
It's in the situation where you would say that for those who are doing businesses, they have to attach an Excel sheet.
So in most cases, Excel sheets will be rejected if you've not input the right information. Maybe you've not declared that you had withholding tax, which according to a KRA, they have the information. In that case, then the Excel sheet will not be declared. Or maybe you're inputting the wrong income, because while filing returns, you do not, for an income individual, you do not need to have your P9 to file. There's an automated way in KRA. So KRA already knows how much you have been paying. So if you declare the wrong amount, it will not be able to balance with what is already in KRA. So that's why the Excel sheet will not go through.
So Kem, I think there what Mercy is trying to say is that it means there's a problem with your KRA, with your Excel sheet. So you have to review it again and maybe send it back, if I'm not wrong.
And usually they'll tell you where the exact problem is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caro, any other questions? Any other questions? This Kem he has written again He's saying, but for, I think for Kemkem, I'm not sure he's talking about business. Yeah, individuals, do individuals give the Excel sheet? No.
Yeah, there's an option
Yeah?
of.
Okay, in which cases? Or maybe for rental?
No, for just personal income,
Ah.
if it's not nil, then you go download the income Excel sheet, then go down, now declare your information from there.
Okay, let me read what he has written, Kemkem. But for even individuals, the Excel sheet is mandatory, required before you can submit. Is that the case? Is it mandatory when you are submitting your returns? I don't think so.
It depends with the method that you'll use.
Okay, it depends on the method you are using.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more complex than than we thought. Okay, maybe Kemkem, the best is to get in touch with one of the team of Dan International. Maybe they can give you more information on that. So they are going to share the number after, or the email after, you can get more information on what exactly on your situation. There is Keisha. What if an experience does not have a receipt? Keisha, hebu andika tena question yako. Okay. What if an expense does not have a receipt? For example, when I pay fundis and I buy stuff from my market where they don't give receipts. Good question. But I think Mercy had said that they don't ask you for these receipts when you are declaring. You just declare out of any trust to just fill it. Even here in France, that's what we do. But they might control you. But when they control you, you must give those receipts. So I think it's the same. It's the same situation in Kenya. When they control you, and it's true in Kenya, you can go and buy some things and you don't have a receipt. What will you do? Good question. I don't know whether somebody can answer that. Ian, maybe, or what can you say about that according to the law?
For purchases, mainly, the receipts are mainly for the company's books, mainly.
Okay.
But when filing, what is needed is the number. Whereby at the end of the computing, so the numbers must make sense. But for receipts are for the company's accountability.
Okay.
Yeah. So when computing, I've never seen a situation where KRA requests for receipts, but the numbers must make sense at the end of computing. So for them to make sense from your books, you need the receipts so the numbers to make sense. So for receipts, it's mainly for the books of accounts for the company, if it's the company obligation. But for individual, I don't think there's any receipts required.
Okay, for individuals, then they are not going to ask for receipts, because I don't think there's a situation where you'll have expenses. Maybe what he was talking about, maybe when you are doing maybe rentals and you have receipts, maybe you do some repair on your house, and maybe I think he was talking about that. Well, for individuals, I don't like you're saying. Maybe there's no receipt, anything about that. So yeah, so they don't control too much. Because the accounts will do the counter checking.
Yeah, so the numbers must make sense when filing returns.
Okay. Okay, there's Killian who is asking, hello guys, for citizens living in Kenya but working for foreigners in the diaspora, who is supposed to pay the tax?
I think we have already touched on that.
Yes, but that is for citizens who are in Kenya and they are working for diasporans, or they are working for companies outside Kenya. Okay. The tax, who is going to pay the tax? Because maybe let's say you are doing some services to to a foreign company, you are in Kenya, maybe that will be on the tax on the services or on the goods if you sell goods.
I just come again on that question.
For that one, you confirm is the person who is in Kenya to pay taxes on that, not the person out.
Yeah. If the company is not in Kenya, the company that you're working for, then you cannot pay tax. You just file a nil return.
Okay, so the one who is in Kenya is the one to pay tax for the service.
In Kenya and working for a company in Kenya registered under KRA. That has a PIN as well and recognized.
I think the question here is, for example, Kylian is working for a company which is in France. Does what the maybe the goods is providing or the service, is he taxed on that? No, because he's being paid by a foreigner. No.
No, because that particular entity is not identified by the Kenyan government as an organization in Kenya.
I hope, Kylian, for you it's okay. Okay. Kem, is there a particular nil return space other than e-return space once logging the tax? Is there another place, maybe the question of Kem, is there another place on the KRA website where you can do nil returns? It's only one place.
Yeah, it's just in the portal. There's only one place that you can declare the nil returns.
Okay. So Kesha is still back there with the question. I'm talking about business. I own a business, but I buy stuff from the market for resale, and I also pay foodies to make my things. How do I compute that? Ian is what we were talking about. Maybe you're going to the market because I think Kesha sells goods from the Kikomba market, maybe, and Kikomba, they don't give receipts. How will she prove that she bought those things at that price?
Okay. If maybe I can explain. For the receipts, there's nowhere of placing the receipts on the iTax. Okay. But the sheet that you are needed to fill is where you fill the numbers. So maybe let's say purchase and sales and expenses. At the end, the numbers that the profit or the loss must make sense if you look at the profit, if you look at the purchases and expenses, and the profit or loss, they must make sense. Okay. So for the receipts, they are for your own benefit, whereby you will use the numbers from the receipts to compute or fill the form. So for the receipts, it's not for the purposes of filing, but they are for purposes of your books of accounts, so as to be accountable of what you'll file. But at the time of filing, it's only the numbers that are needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the same thing, I think there we come back to the same thing what you were saying. Receipts, it's just for accountability purposes. And so in case the KRA, they just control the accounts of the company or the accounts of your business. That's all. So there are no more questions unless there are other questions from your side. I think already we have talked about.
Mercy can maybe clarify what she has just explained about someone who is working for a company which is outside Kenya. So does that mean if I'm in Kenya, for example, for instance, if I have a company and I hire someone in Kenya to work for me, maybe it's a digital kind of a company, and I'm paying them a salary, they are not obliged to file returns?
Yes, because they need for them to be able to file those returns, there's a place they will need to declare the employer. The employer needs to have a PIN, and that PIN should be from Kenya. And in this case, since the company is not in Kenya, which means that it doesn't have a verified KRA pin from Kenya. So that in that case, then they'll just file nil returns, since yes, they are running income, but not in a company that is registered in Kenya.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So far, we've had questions, and I think that would be beneficial to some of us. So those who came late, you can review the video on YouTube. I'm going to leave it on YouTube, and you can review. If you have questions, Dan International, they are going to give their contacts, and after they are going to, you can deal with them to see how they can help you to file your returns if you are not able to do it. So I think for KRA, that's done. Thank you for the information, and maybe back to Mark, or maybe I don't know who can give us more information. Like when we were discussing before, you know, Mark, you have lived abroad, and you know how life is here, and as we want sometimes things done in Kenya, we have small things which can end up in disputes in families, and breaking friendships. So at least you are there to solve that problem. Maybe you can tell us maybe other services you offer for Kenyans who are living abroad, and to reassure them that that when we give you that job, the thing will be done.
Yeah, thanks, Noah. Yeah, I mean, to reassure you that the thing will be done. I think Carol is already a customer of ours, and
Yes.
I think Carol can vouch for the level of care we take in terms of getting things done. Really, for us, the way we look at this is it's a huge opportunity to actually rewrite the script. There is more opportunity in terms of thinking long term, as opposed to just trying to eat what's in front of you. And you guys know as well as I do that we have this problem in Africa, and we can speak specifically to Kenya because that's where we're from, where people are very short term in terms of how they think about opportunity and the possibilities of what you can build over the long term. You know, so for us, this is a long term project, and it's about building a brand built on trust. Actually, our tagline is accelerating trust. So it's 9 p.m. Actually, it's 10 p.m. right now in Kenya, and here we are talking to you guys. So it would be pretty insane if we actually, the first person who came to us for services, we didn't deliver, because all the work and time that we're putting into all this would go nowhere. We are looking at this as a big picture. We see the small services that we're offering as just a gateway drug, if you will, because what we really want to focus on is helping people consummate real estate transactions. Remittance, we're going to set up a remittance application so you guys can remit money back home. We also are going to be setting up repatriation planning, which is really about how do I plan my repatriation back home? And that is really investments, property, you know, putting money into the right instruments over here so that you can actually manage your process over time so you can come back home. That's a business built on trust. There's no other way to do that. It is, we want to build a brand that solves this problem once and for all, because, you know, it's clearly the, you know, one of our biggest opportunities as a continent. Our diaspora is huge, but there's this big gap between the diaspora and the continent. And we see that as a fantastic opportunity to really do things that will have significant impact, right? If we can unlock that opportunity, there is no limit to what is possible, right? Because you and I know, you know very well, people are holding on to their money because there's nobody they can trust here on the ground.
Sure.
Right? And it's ridiculous. I mean, if you really think about it, it's really ridiculous. And so, but anyway, I mean, people, you know, will live based on what the opportunities they have. For us, we are not. For us, the way we think about this is we don't have we have the privilege of being able to plan and think long term. So that puts us in a position where we're not saying we are better than other people. We are just in a different circumstance, right? We have that opportunity to actually work on building something meaningful. Not everybody has that opportunity, right? So really excited about the bridging the gap between diaspora and Africa. So yeah. Yeah, and in terms of reaching us, let me just share my screen here so people can actually know where
because
to go.
somebody who is asking already if you can share your social links and your contacts.
Yeah,
you can share. Yeah, that's it. So Dan at impactafrica.network.
Yes, or
that
they can.
Is, that
yeah.
is.
Or they can go to Dan International, Dan.international, the website, as you can see on the screen. And then, if you want to engage with us, just, what do you need done? Just put your name, your email, and then you can pick your service that you want, put some notes here, and then click send. And on the next page, you'll be able to actually schedule a call with us. We can jump on a call, get to know you, get to understand what your needs are. So it's dan.international.com, and pretty straightforward. I mean, we're keeping things very simple. So we can, so there are no complications.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm actually a client currently, and I can say I'm impressed. The speed at which you respond is impeccable, as we say in French. I'm very impressed. Yeah, I had Mutede almost gave me a heart attack one morning, but Ian stepped in quickly, and they actually made a call the same day. I was actually, the speed at which they moved to just explain things to me was impressive. Honestly speaking, I'm actually very impressed. Your response is top, and the updates. I get updates without having to ask. And you see, that's one thing as diaspora. We usually, in fact, the back, the what do you call it? The feedback. When you're doing when you're paying someone to do something, you expect them to give you some feedback, and they give it to you without you having to ask for it. Yes. And you guys are doing that, and actually I'm very, very impressed. So far so good. Things are moving. They are updating me every stage, every step of the way. They're keeping me informed, and I do not have to ask. Even over the weekend, sometimes they just send me messages to tell me where we are. So maybe I'm the first client in France, I don't know, but so far so good. And keep it up.
Thank you, Carol.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, we've thank you so much for that, Carol. We understand the gulf in trust and how we need to kind of step into that and resolve that. So we have a great team of young people here. Most of these people are recently from university, and giving them the opportunity to actually learn and prove themselves, and they are amazing, as you can see. So just humbled and blessed to be able to do this work. I mean, to connect our people, it's fantastic. So yeah, thank you for that.
Okay, so just last, there's something which somebody sent me. In fact, she was supposed to join the meeting when I told her there's the meeting, and she was unable to ask a question on YouTube, so she sent me, and she's saying that they have asked her to upload individual and residential. I don't know, can't find exactly the full returns.
So no, in regards of if that person has a little bit more of a detailed requirement, she can just go to the Dan website, or she can email us, and we can engage with her on a personal level. It's I want to be respectful to our team. It's 10 p.m. at night over here.
Yeah, sure.
So we can.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell her just I don't know whether I can give the number of one of you, or she just goes to the website, and because there even me, I cannot understand what was sent to her. So I'm going to
Yeah,
tell her
let's
to send directly to you. So
Yep.
thank you very much, and Mark and your team. And I hope that you're going to solve these problems from Kenyans, because we need things to be done.
Yeah.
Thank
Can I
you,
just-
Mas, for your presentation.
Yeah.
Jessica, Prince, and Ian.
All right. Thanks, Noah, for having us. Really
Okay,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you so much
Carol,
for your
thank you so
time.
much. Yep.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Next time we'll talk more on what you do, if you have other things. Okay. Nice time.
Thank you.
All right, Maxi,
Nice
good night.
time. Good night.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Thank you, our viewers. And then next week on Sunday, we'll be talking about investing in housing in France. So join us. We'll be with Diana, who presented last time. So you can join us next week on Sunday. We'll be talking about investing in housing in France. So thank you very much.